Unfortunately, as of last night, Crypto Kids, the Memorandum of Understanding between America and Iran has been breached. This was the same MOU that got signed on June the 18th in Versailles. The MOU was a pathway in generating perpetual peace within the Middle East. But unfortunately, last night, both parties broke that, and there are threats of further military escalation going into the later hours of the day. It's very tragic, very, very tragic. Praying to God that no such thing happens. But, guys and girls, since we are a Bitcoin and crypto-centric channel, and we know that Bitcoin is influenced, particularly in the short term, by these geopolitical events, I must give you an update on what the price can potentially do and if there is a change in my mid to macro expectation of reaching the 200 daily moving average before seeing the final leg down in Q4 to establish the end of the bear markets. If those are things that you want to stay informed about, do me a favor and subscribe to become a Crypto Kid, as this is what we're here to do every single day. Bear markets, bull markets, sickness, in happiness, in upsetness, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. If you subscribe, I promise you, I will not let you down with the TA and information that we deliver here, and destroy the like button if you have the ability. Guys, 24 hours previous to this, we live stream Monday to Friday on the Moon Channel, one of the largest channels in the crypto ecosphere. We do a daily show, 6:45 p.m. GST time, where I dive into things with more detail. It's usually 25 to 40-minute live streams. We said, hey, we've got a contingency plan. If we are to see a rejection leading into 57.5, my thesis of going to 200 daily moving average and ending summer with a bullish note is going to be the case. Why? Well, firstly, we're still on W. Even if we consolidate a little, W patterns tend to get those ending consolidations. If the W gets broken, then you're technically still in a falling wedge, which 70% of the time break upwards. As long as you can keep your divergence in the dailies, you do usually see triple divergences, then I'm completely fine. I'm happy to remain bullish. I'm happy to remain in bullish positions and target 200 daily. The 4-year cycle suggests that heavily. The monthly price performance suggests that heavily. For me, the base case is not changed, but since BTC is operational 24/7, and it's the most liquid asset that trades 24/7, when geopolitical escalations hit the timeline, when traditional financial markets are closed, then BTC will absorb all of that heat. What is it that went down in geopolitics? Well, we had the MOU, June 18th. It was looking quite optimistic. But President Trump, in the afternoon, during his attendance in the NATO summit over in Turkey, has stated that he doesn't want to deal with Iran anymore. And it comes after, allegedly, we don't know, obviously we don't know who did what first. We have our sources on crypto Twitter that I happen to trust over months and years of analysis, but at the end of the day, we just don't know what's happening behind the scenes. According to the Twitter sources, America stated that Iran attacked ships in the Strait of Hormuz, which led them to retaliate with initially economic sanctioning. They revoked Iran's general license to export oil. Most of Iran's revenue as a country come from said oil exports. And in Ray Dalio's path to military action, economic sanctioning is the step right before proceeding to military action. The US military did exactly that. They completed a new round of attacks, striking 80 targets in Iran, including air defenses, radar sites, missile systems, and 60 IRGC boats. Iran, obviously not happy with that, decided to retaliate. President Trump wants to or suggests taking Karg Island, the island, from its locational factoring, from sanction-related factoring, gets piped 90% of all Iran's crude, and this is the small island where all that crude travels from. Quite important. President Trump stated that they may seize it, and blasts were heard exactly on that island. I'll go into how Iran retaliated, but that alone was enough to push oil prices to $73 per barrel. We did, a few days ago, reach our target of $67 on oil because we had that gap. We've always stated that eventually we're going to come down to 67 when things appear as though they are easing, which was the story when we had the MOU. But now we've taken a different turn. There's a gap towards the upside at $82, $81. And if, God forbid, military actions continue, then that is going to be the target for crude oil, and Bitcoin would subsequently see a correction, perhaps even all the way down to $57,500. Iran's response was a retaliation towards Bahrain, where the Fifth Fleet of America is located in. It's the largest American base in the region. They shot down a US MQ-9 Reaper drone over their airspace, and they stated that a ratio of at least 2-to-1 would be conducted for any enemy targeting. President Trump mentioned that attacks will happen tonight, and that there isn't much that Iran can do with regards to those said alleged attacks, which I pray to God doesn't happen. Iran says, quote unquote, go ahead, strike, and that they would hit back harder if such actions were conducted. Trump wants to block the Strait of Hormuz, restricting 20% of the globe's oil supply, will shoot crude. I mean, we could even see it, right, go back to hundreds, depending on how these things turn out. We just can't predict. And inflation will reverse its downwards course and continue hitting upward levels, and that's really not a good sign for any risk on assets. So for now, we just need to be pragmatic, see how the situation develops. Again, we can't speculate. Like we speculate on prices, we just cannot speculate on geopolitical events. I wish that we could, but we can't. So we're trading the market presented per trade on our charts, 57.5, final frontier. Even if we get to it, still bullish. If we fall through, then I'll come to you with a different perspective and an updated way of taking my positionings. Guys, speaking of positionings, if you're looking for an area to trade Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, or even crude oil for that fact, you can check out the link in the description below to BTCC using the second link, which if you sign up with just your email address and password, you can get access to incredible bonuses that our partner BTCC is giving only for the Crypto Kids community. Second link in the description, insane bonuses. Do check it out if you have the intention of trading crypto, crude oil, and global market exposure. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.